I'm calling the Planning Committee meeting to order. It's now 1:32. And could you please give your attention to this short video?
Due to COVID-19, this meeting will be conducted as a Zoom meeting pursuant to the provisions of Assembly Bill 361, which suspends certain requirements of the Brown Act. This meeting is being live streamed on the CCTA website. The chair will call upon members, staff, and other speakers by name. Please speak clearly and state your name before giving comments or remarks. Persons participating via Zoom with their cameras enabled are reminded that their activities are visible to viewers. Members participating by Zoom wishing to speak should physically raise their hand and unmute their mic when called upon. Members should mute their mics when done speaking. Citizens participating by Zoom wishing to speak should use the Raise Hand feature or dial *9 if participating via phone, and the chair or staff will call upon them at the appropriate time. Citizens will have 3 minutes to speak. After 3 minutes, staff will lower their hand and mute their mic. Participants via phone will be called upon by the last 4 digits of their phone number. It is requested that public speakers state their names and organization, but providing such information is voluntary. Written public comments received in accordance with the teleconferencing special notice for public comment guidelines are printed on the meeting agenda. If authors of the written correspondence would like to speak, they should raise their hand and the chair will call upon them at the appropriate time. All written correspondence received after that and during the meeting will be entered into the record. A roll call vote will be taken for all action items. Thank you for participating in a meeting of the Contra Costa Transportation Authority.
Thank you, everyone. So, Jackie, could you please take the roll call?
Yes, thank you. Commissioner Carlson?
Here.
Thank you. Commissioner Meadows? Commissioner Haskew?
Here.
Chair Hudson? Vice Chair Kelly?
Here.
Okay, we have all members present except for Chair Hudson and Commissioner Meadows.
And we do have a quorum. Is that right, Jackie?
We do have quorum, correct. Thank you.
Okay, great. So moving on. So the next item is public comment for items that are not on the agenda. Jackie, have we received any public comment?
No public comment received.
Okay, and is there anyone here in the meeting wishing to speak on items not on the agenda? Jackie, do you see anyone?
I do not see any hands raised.
Okay, so we'll move on. And the next item is, of course, the consent calendar. Are there any changes or comments from any of the commissioners? Does anyone want to pull an item on consent?
I'll move the consent.
Okay, motion by Carls. Before you do that, does anyone want to speak on any items on consent? Jackie, do we have any speakers?
I do not see any hands raised, and I have not received any comments on this item.
Okay, so it looks like we don't have anyone here. So, Ken, do you want to make the motion?
I make the motion.
Well, I will second it.
Okay, so motion by Carlson, seconded by Haskew. Jackie, can we have the roll call, please?
Yes. Commissioner Carlson?
Aye.
Commissioner Meadows? Commissioner Haskew? Commissioner Haskew?
You said yes.
Thank you. Commissioners, Chair Hudson? And Vice Chair Kelly?
Yes.
Okay, motion passes unanimously with Commissioner Meadows absent and Chair Hudson absent.
Okay, thank you. So we're moving on to regular agenda items. And our first item here is an approval of the fiscal year 23-24 Measure J TFCA allocation program, Commute Alternatives, 511 Contra Costa. And this is going to be presented by Kirsten Riker from 511 Contra Costa.
Good afternoon. This is Ian Smith, Director of Mobility Programs. Thank you, Vice Chair. I'm going to start, and I am going to tag team with Kristen on this presentation. So this is an annual allocation item, and usually we have it on consent calendar. But this year, we wanted to use this opportunity to provide more background on the Travel Demand Management Program, or TDM. We would like to share a preview of some improvements we're considering for future years. So with that, Kristen, would you take over from here?
Sure. Thank you, Ying, and good afternoon, commissioners. My name again, Kirsten Riker. I'm one of the program managers for 511 Contra Costa. I've been working on this program since 2012, and it's been a rewarding program to work on. So a little background, 511 Contra Costa is a countywide program. We're focused on reducing traffic and improving air quality by promoting alternatives to driving alone. So we promote transit, ride sharing, biking, walking, and working from home. We offer a variety of free programs and services for employers in the workforce, youth and schools, and residents of all ages. We're also a partner member of the Green Business Program. 511 Contra Costa is implemented cooperatively by staff in 3 separate sub-regional offices, serving all 4 RTPCs. CCTA provides oversight for the sub-regional office that I manage, and my team is staffed by AMG, and our program primarily serves the Transpac and Transplan regions. The Southwest region is managed by Darlene Amaral, with program oversight provided by SWAT, and Corey Riley, who I believe is on the call, manages programs in West County with oversight from Lake Jack. So all of our programs are funded by CCTA with a combination of Measure J funds earmarked for Commute Alternatives and the Air District's Transportation Fund for Clean Air. So while the subregions have separate management, I want to reiterate that all the programs I'm talking about here today are offered countywide through collaborative work from staff at all 3 offices. Now, I always like to start with a little clarification. We're often confused with 511.org, which is the regional program serving all 9 counties in the Bay Area, and that program is run by MTC. 511.org provides the real-time traffic updates and offers carpool ride matching for the entire Bay Area. In contrast, we're your local program, serving people who live or work here in Contra Costa County. Our services include commute planning and information, a guaranteed ride home program, free incentives for green commuting, youth programs, and a few just for fun programs designed to create healthy, active transportation habits for local trips. So I'm going to go over each of these services on the next few slides. The main purpose of our program is to really market green transportation. So I'll start by talking about our outreach and communications. We have a mobile-friendly website that gets over 12,000 page views every month. Our social media channels have over 6,000 followers. Our posts generated over 240,000 impressions last year alone. We produce a short monthly newsletter, came out today for July, with information about commute options, current programs, and seasonal promotions. Our subscription numbers have been steadily growing for the last several years. We now have over 25,000 readers with an incredible open rate of about 40%, which if you do a newsletter, that's pretty good. So if you're not already subscribed, please do sign up today and share our newsletter with your outreach team. Our programs focus on climate change actions that everyone can take, and our resources generally include a financial benefit or recreational aspect that make them easy and popular to promote. One of the most basic services that we offer is personalized commute planning. This can be especially helpful for new residents in the county, for people who are starting new jobs, or for anyone who is simply curious about how you can commute to, from, or through Contra Costa without a car. Our commute coach can help you understand which door-to-door commute options exist, and we include time estimates, cost comparisons. We can even help you calculate your commute carbon footprint. Plus, we get you registered for the best incentives to match your mode choice. This is a free service that we offer via telephone, email, or even text. Our employer programs have us visiting work sites, hosting transportation events, or providing custom digital outreach materials for employers to send directly via company email. We offer custom employee commute surveys and can follow up with suggestions. At the beginning of COVID, we developed a work from home toolkit to help employers develop or create official policies that, beyond COVID, lead to fewer workday and commute hour vehicle trips. Every May, we promote National Bike Month and Bike to Work Day, which is a fun Bay Area-wide event that rewards regular bike commuters and encourages first-timers to try biking to work. This year, we sponsored more than 40 Energizer stations throughout Contra Costa. Now, we often hear from people that they say, I don't want to try carpooling, I don't want to bike, I don't want to use transit, because they're worried about not being able to get home quickly in an emergency. So our Guaranteed Ride Home program offers no-cost commuter insurance by reimbursing people for up to 6 Uber or Lyft or taxi rides home every year. So for example, if you carpooled to work and in the middle of the day, you get a call from your kid's school saying, get down here and pick them up, they're sick. Or maybe you rode your bike to work and you get a flat tire on the way in. No problem. If you're signed up in our Guaranteed Ride Home program, you can simply jump into a Lyft or an Uber, get home quickly, and we'll reimburse you for the ride. This program is completely free and available to any adult who works or attends college in Contra Costa County. In addition to the Guaranteed Ride Home, we also provide a general cash incentive for employees to commit to using transit, carpooling, biking, walking, or even working from home at least once a week. The reward for this is a choice of a $25 gift card, or you can choose to have 25 trees planted in your name by the nonprofit One Tree Planted. We also offer popular mode-specific incentives as well. For example, if you're new to transit and you don't yet have a Clipper card, our Try Transit incentive gives you a free card preloaded with $25. We also offer various bus pass incentives, including a Take 10 free rides, BOGO monthly passes, and various seasonal promotions. Our Secure Your Cycle program is popular, offers a free $20 bike link card for bike commuters to use the electronic lockers found at BART and other locations throughout the Bay Area. And if you join or start a van pool, we offer cash subsidies to help defray those costs. As you know, e-bikes are getting more and more popular, and we were the first program in the Bay Area to offer cash rebates for the purchase of a new e-bike. Our standard rebate is $150, and it's available to any adult who lives in the county. If you have a qualified low income, household income, your rebate goes up to either $300 or $500, depending on your home city. And the $500 rebates are reserved for people with low incomes who live in our highest equity priority communities. This program has been very popular, and we receive excellent feedback from participants. We've issued about 1,200 rebates, and we're collecting great user data from our follow-up surveys. For county residents who won't or can't use transit, e-biking can be an excellent replacement option for many of our short local trips. We also offer several youth programs that aim to reduce school and after-school trips. Our Pass to Class program, which opens today for the new school year, provides up to 2 months of free bus rides on County Connection, Tri-Delta, WestCat, and AC Transit at the beginning of every school year. We supply thousands of passes countywide every year. Our Summer Youth Pass is a half-price youth bus pass that lets kids take unlimited bus rides all summer, June through August, for only $30. Without our promotion, this pass would sell for $60. And School Pool is our carpool promotion that runs at the beginning of the school year, encouraging families to form carpool groups for their school commute. And speaking of youth programs, our Street Smarts Diablo program has been delivering free bike ped traffic safety education and encouragement programs at no cost to schools in Central and Eastern Contra Costa since 2012. Late last year, we expanded this program into La Miranda, and with CCTA's recent OBAG 3 grant, we'll have continued funding for safety education, not only in the existing Transplant and La Miranda regions, but throughout the county. The San Ramon Valley Street Smarts program and the County Public Health Services will be partner implementers so that all Contra Costa students will be receiving safe routes education and encouragement programs. As a potential model for a countywide program, Street Smarts Diablo provides safety assemblies, walk and roll to school events, a free helmet program, and in fact, we've distributed over 6,200 helmets. Pretty cool. We offer a variety of safety materials for community outreach, including digital graphics, seasonal safety reminders, yard signs, parking lot banners for schools and cities to use. Our online resources include helmet information, a community safety pledge, carpooling tips, at-home activities, fun videos, and more. Street Smarts has been a very active program. Last year, we went to over 55 schools, and we already have over 30 schools booked for this fall alone. We enjoy strong support and partnership with schools, local traffic enforcement teams, and cities. Working on this program has been the best part of my job, and I'm looking forward to collaborating with the other regions as this program gets expanded countywide. Next, I'll describe our unique Just for Fun programs. So we've created a couple of game-like programs, which we say are just for fun, but in reality, we have found these to be sneaky, effective ways to A, get people to use and enjoy active transportation for lots of local trips, and B, to get people to trust and follow the 511 Contra Costa brand so that they're more receptive when we talk about important but less fun stuff like taking BART or riding the bus. Both the Summer Bike Challenge and Winter Walk Challenges are popular 12-week programs designed to motivate and hopefully condition participants to choose active transportation for these short trips. We use proven methods of behavior change, including gamification, positive weekly reinforcement, and public celebration of the accomplishment. The Summer Bike Challenge, which is happening right now, is one of our most popular programs. The tagline for this program is called Explore Your Town from the Seat of a Bike. And all 19 cities in Contra Costa get their own unique game board. As an example, you can see the City of Pleasant Hills game board right here. Every year, we feature different local destinations unique to each city, with places like parks, public buildings, downtowns, schools, and other points of interest. The program features 3 ways to participate. First, riders are supposed to bike to these 12 game board destinations anytime during the summer on their own. Second, we host in-person free stuff events in each city. And for example, one of our most popular events is at Coco Swirl in downtown Pleasant Hill, where riders who bike to the store during our advertised date and time get a free treat from Coco Swirl. And we get over 150 riders in a 2-hour weekday. So it's pretty exciting. And you can see the bikes here taking up all the parking spaces, which really shows what we're trying to accomplish. The third way to participate is, for us, the most exciting part. 95% of participants opt in to receive a weekly email from us every Monday morning. And the email features a bonus bike ride challenge that sends them on an extra ride to capture the theme of the week with a bike selfie. This element was added to the program during the COVID years when we couldn't go out and do our in-person events. But it was so popular, it's in fact why we created a sister program, Winter Walk Challenge, with the same format. This element is not only fun for the participants, but it gives us a way to talk to people every single week. It gives us a chance to sneak in reminders and reinforcement about the benefits of using green travel modes again and again. The Summer Bike Challenge is fun, it's popular, it's community building, and people enjoy it. We've asked all the cities and other local organizations to post flyers and to help promote the program. So far this year, we have over 2,500 people of all ages participating, and we receive hundreds of photos every week. If you have time, go to the website, check out our photo gallery where we post all the bike selfies we get every week. This slide here is an abbreviated glimpse of the week 3 gallery when our theme was over, under, and through, where we asked people as the bonus challenge to bike somewhere on an overpass, underpass, or a tunnel that's just for bikes and pedestrians. Oops. The Winter Walk Challenge doesn't have a game board like the other one, but we do send a Monday email for 3 months with a walk theme of the week. And again, people take a walk, they shoot a photo that captures the weekly theme. The photos get posted, and the walkers get entered in prize drawings. This is a 3-year-old program. It continues to grow year after year. We had almost 3,000 participants just this past January through March, and we received over 4,000 photos. So this collage shows just a few of the photos people sent in that captured the 12 weekly themes. So while 501 Contra Costa isn't doing the hard work of building the roads or driving the buses, our programs have helped us build relationships and trust with the public. As a result, people are willing to listen and possibly consider saying yes to trying those alternative modes, which can be admittedly less convenient than driving. So our newsletter subscriptions and our social media base are growing steadily because our programs are fun and our customer service is excellent. I can brag about how great our programs are, but I prefer to simply show you a few of the many, many comments that we receive. And I'm not going to read them all out loud, but for anyone here in the public sector, you'll appreciate the gratifying comment in green, which says, in short, I am so happy that my tax is being used for the right thing, which is not something we always hear. So as I wrap up my presentation, I'll again encourage you to sign up for our newsletter and to share our resources with your colleagues and constituents. And now I'm going to turn it over to Ying, who is going to talk about the future of TDM here in Contra Costa.
Thank you. And I have to say I'm one of the subscribers, and I participate in many of the programs that our own program has offered. So just want to share that. Next, I want to talk about some of the future improvements we're considering. Starting in FY 24-25, which is a year from now, we were going to run this program as 2 separate programs. One as a Safe Route to School program, and the other one is called Commute Alternatives. Next slide, please. So one of the reasons why we're running at this one program into 2 is because the OBAC grant that CCTA received. Last year, the planning team updated you with the news that CCTA was awarded an OBAC grant to provide a countywide Safe Route to School program. And this is a new one, and we'll focus on bicycle and pedestrian safety education and encouragement among the younger population. We will introduce the Safe Route to School program to every K-12 public school in Contra Costa County. And the program will be available to serve 170,000 students attending the schools from elementary to high school in the 18 school districts we have. This will be an expansion on the 3 existing sub-regional programs. One of them, Kristen mentions the Safe Street Smart Diablo, and the other 2 are Street Smart San Ramon Valley, as well as the Contra Costa Health Services Safe Route to School program. What is very unique, and one of the reasons why we received this grant is in West County, this countywide program will ensure equity access to the youth education program in the schools who are not receiving the Safe Route to School curriculum, and that is very important. The next slide, please. Just a little bit showing you the numbers. The total cost of the program is about $4.3 million. It will run for 4 years, and OBAC grant will contribute $3.665 $3,665,000, and the local match is $679,000, and this will come from Measure J program 17, as well as our partners' contribution. All sub-regional offices contribute to this program because this is a countywide program. And the implementation partners include CCT as the recipient, and the County Public Health as the sub-recipient, as well as City of San Ramon. Next slide, please. And the other part of the program will be called Commute Alternatives. This is where we focus on people like the adult population. Some of the ideas we want to share with you, and this is a right time for staff to work with you to form the vision for the future commute alternative programs. First, we feel strongly that it's important for us to enhance the CCTA presence. This is a wonderful program, but I think we have some improvement to do to get the word out, to really associate the wonderful programs we're offering with CCTA, with the CCTA brand. Going forward, we're also looking at towards a more data-driven process in our approach, and using the measure of vehicle miles traveled reduction. And this is some of the conversations you heard on the countywide VMT program. The clean air benefits and VMT reduction, those are two very, very closely related concepts, and really want to strengthen that connection. Industry-wide, there are other transit and ride-sharing incentives that we're looking at, and there's always really beneficial to compare our experience with our peers to see what we can learn, what are the good ideas we can borrow from them. And then we also want to consider introducing mobility as a service, the MaaS platform. And this can be a tool we can deploy to provide information to our customers on the alternative modes and have a comparison so they know the options available, and also help us capture and reward the actual mode shift and be able to verify the trip information on the VMT reduction benefits. So, and also want to just point out, this is a program funded by Measure J Program 17, as well as the TFCA funds received from the Air District. So as I wrap up, I want to, it's open for questions for both the presentation as well as the staff report. And also a reminder, this is an action item. We have the staff recommendation in the staff report, so I don't want to leave this item without asking you to consider the staff recommendation. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ying. Thank you, Kirsten. Great presentation. So questions or comments from the commissioners? Luella.
Thank you, and it's lovely to see Kirsten again. It's been a long time, hasn't it? So in the old days, we used to get notifications when a school specific program was, so that staff and council members could, and I spent more than a few times getting iced with lemonade and really sticky. So, you know, they were fun, and it was great to get to see the kids and that sort of thing. I'm assuming COVID kind of messed all of that stuff up. And are we doing that sort of thing again and letting people know so that they can participate?
Yeah, COVID did mess it up, but it's back. It's been back overwhelmingly, actually, in the last year. Kind of crept back the year before that, but last year we were at over 55 schools. We've got every Monday through Friday booked from mid-August through, I think, October 5th. I'll be at a school every single day, every single weekday. And all of the events are listed on streetsmartsdiablo.org/events. And I believe Transpac puts that in their packet. They put a link to the events page. So you in Walnut Creek would get that through your Transpac.
Okay, it's on us to figure it out, because I want to share that with my fellow council members, because I know that some of them would just love to go to the schools and enjoy it. So thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Luella, that's a really helpful suggestion. That's great. Kind of remind us that these programs are back. Any other comments? Ken, do you have any? No, he's shaking.
Just grateful. I love what 511 does all the way around, and so I'm just grateful to wanting to get the presentation and learn even more.
Yeah, and Kirsten, I would say the Street Smart sounds really great. I know we do something kind of similar in West County. Let me ask about the school pool. So can parents call up and say, "Hey, I'm commuting from here to there. Are there any people in my area?" And how does that actually work?
Yeah, you know, that's a really good question. It's an obvious problem, right, that you would hope we could solve. But unfortunately, it turns out in our experience that carpool ride matching is really best done between the parents at the schools and between neighbors. So there are a few apps out there that we've explored, ride matching apps specific for school carpooling. And, you know, they're expensive and they don't really provide long-term help any better than just simply having the schools help try to match people up. So we'll incentivize it. We'll ask people to do it. And we have a drawing, you know, back to school giveaway. The shopping spree is the big prize to motivate people to get it going. Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe it's just easier to do within your own school. And I guess it would be kind of hard to find people in nearby schools and connect with them. So I kind of understand that. Great. Yeah. You know, I know out in West County at WICTAC, Corey Riley does a really great program with our TDMs. I see Corey here on the presentation. I'd like to have him sometime. Ying, in the future, Corey's got a number of presentations about some unique things that we do in West County. And I'd kind of like to bring that forth as well, because I know there's just a whole variety of things that are really exciting. So are there any comments here? Jackie, do we have anybody with written comments?
No public written comments received on this item.
Okay, and then is there anyone here in the audience who wishes to speak? No?
I don't see any hands raised.
Okay, well, great. Thank you. Appreciate it. And Kirsten, appreciate all the work you're doing in Central County. That's really, really great. And I'm sure great things are happening out in SWAT, and I know they are in WICTAC as well. It's all part of one big TDM program, reaching out to people, you know, to try to get us out of our cars and to do something healthy like ride bikes and walk and so forth. So really appreciate all your efforts.
If I can just reiterate that everything I spoke about today, except for the Street Smarts Diablo currently, is available countywide in all of the subregions. So guaranteed ride home, Tri-Transit, Drive Less, all of our incentives, school pool, all of that is available in all of the subregions. So these are resources that everybody can take advantage of.
Okay, and just one last question. I don't know if this is part or not, but I know in West County, we have a travel training program for seniors that has gotten really revived recently. And we've had some great response in Hercules and perhaps in other cities. There are a lot of seniors who just really want to get out and want to know how to take the bus or take the ferry and so forth. So just wanted to mention that as well.
Yeah, we've actually just were mentioning that this morning in our group TDM meeting with Corey and Darlene and our team, how the travel training is so popular and it's so beneficial. It's something that we all as a staff would like to be trained on by the person in WICTAC who's currently doing that. So we were just talking about that today. It's a great program. Yeah,
that's Joanna Pollock. And I know she's going to be retiring at the end of the year. So we're trying to grab all the knowledge we can from her. But exactly. It's really great for the seniors, you know, and they're learning how to use their phones and so forth. They're overcoming fears. And so that's just another great program that we can put a lot of energy into all throughout the county. Yeah. It'd be wonderful. Okay, so if there's no other comments here, Ying, we do have a resolution before us. That's resolution 23-8-G. So do I hear a motion?
So moved.
And a second? Yeah. Okay, so thank you. Motion by Carlson, seconded by Haskew. Jackie, can we have the roll call, please?
Yes, thank you. Commissioner Carlson?
Yes.
Commissioner Meadows? Commissioner Haskew?
Yes.
Chair Hudson? Vice Chair Kelly?
Yes.
Okay, motion passes unanimously with Commissioners Meadow absent and Chair Hudson absent.
Thank you, everyone. So our next item today is a review of the overall work program for the Countywide Transportation Plan 2050. And this will be presented by John Huang. Now, this is an informational item only. John?
Good afternoon, Chair, Vice Chair Kelly. Thank you for the opportunity. My name is John Huang, Director of Planning for CCTA, and I do not have a PowerPoint presentation, so I'll just do a verbal update for you. I will be presenting the draft overall work plan for developing the next transportation plan, looking at the horizon year 2050. We are calling that the CTP 2050. And by the way, the draft plan was included as part of the staff report. So I may be referring to it a couple of times during the presentation. For today, we're seeking input from this committee on the draft overall work plan. And as we go through the process of developing the CTP process, we plan to update the PC committee at key points during the process, seeking your input throughout. We recently completed the draft action plans for the sub-region and brought to the board in April of this year. The intention of these plans will be to eventually be incorporated into the CTP document. As part of that effort, we developed regional transportation objectives, which we call RTOs, and key performance indicators, KPIs, which will be also considered as part of the CTP. So just focusing on the CTP development process, we are following guidelines provided to us by the Metropolitan Transportation Commission, and that was attached in Appendix B of the draft report there. We want to make sure that we are aligned with the guidelines, which includes a lot of things we're already planning for, which is outreach, regional coordination, inclusion of performance framework, and other requirements, including the prioritization of project lists for new term actions. To oversee the CTP development process and to assure that we have the opportunities to receive feedback and input along the way, we've developed a committee structure, which you can see in page 10 of the report. This is called a stakeholder advisory group structure, which consists of existing CCTA committees, including the technical coordinating committees, the Citizen Advisory Committee, and the Regional Transportation Planning Committees, RTPCs themselves. The Stakeholders Advisory Group, which is a new group that we started meeting last year, consists of nonprofit groups, community-based organizations, business communities, the Building Industry Association, and other organizations. So what we've been meeting with this group about is informing them of the elements of the CTP as well as the action planning effort. And we meet with that group every other month. Looking at the CTP task force itself, which is a new group that will feed into the planning committee, that group will be consisting of RTPC managers plus one member from each RTPC, two transit representative, one from BART and one from the other three for transit agency to be selected by the transit agencies. And also we want to include MTC in the process. All the groups, as I mentioned just now, will be feeding up to the planning committee and eventually the authority board. So the overall work plan really consists of 3 phases: the project initiation background phase, where we really establish the vision and the goals. And the second phase would be the developing the draft project components, with the third phase really wrapping up the whole process, developing the draft CTP update and adoption. So right now we're in the midst of developing what we call white papers or policy papers. And the policy paper is really to give us a vision, give us an outlook to year 2050 about the potential elements of potential consideration that we can consider beyond current existing conditions. We've identified key topics, including public transportation, public transit, active transportation, roadway vehicles, climate change and resiliency, innovation, technology, growth management, housing, safety, and equity. So as you recall, we have an on-call bench with up to 20 consultants that are expert in their field. So we're using consultants from that bench to provide the expertise in drafting these policy papers. So once the policy papers are completed, then we'll start with the project components, and then that includes developing the action, the updates to the countywide model, developing the transportation project list and the financial elements. And as we finish up the process, I want to mention that this CTP, as in past years, does require an environmental impact report. So we're drafting up the RFP right now, and we'll be planning to release it in the next month or so. Schedule-wise, we're looking at finishing phase 1 in the fall of this year, and phase 2 stretches all the way through 24, with the final draft CTP expected to be provided in late 24 and final board adoption in 2025. With that, I just want to acknowledge that on the call today would be David Early, who's with Placework. David has helped us quite a bit with the action planning process, and David and his team at Placework, he's the primary consultant assisting us. We do have other consultants on board, but David is the primary one. And again, besides myself, we have Matt Kelly and Colin Clark on our team also. With that, I'll be glad to answer any questions you have. Thank you.
Thank you, John. And I know this is just a huge, huge undertaking. You know, sometimes I kind of lose track of where we are, and this 46-page document, you know, I've kind of scanned through it. I'll take more of a look now, but it's quite amazing. So first, any commissioner comments or questions?
So I just have-
Ken?
I just have, I think, a quick one, and it makes sense to me, but why, when we talk about choosing the start date of 2015, was there a logic behind that other than it just kind of coincides with 2050? Or statistically picking a pre-COVID date, post-COVID date? You know, I'm just wondering if statistically we wouldn't show a little better by looking at broader dates. Could 2018 be a better year to look at to give us better benchmarks as we set goals and move forward?
Okay, Commissioner Carlson, just to understand the question. So I know our horizon year is 2050, so we're starting technically this year.
Right.
Yeah, 2023.
But when we talk in the beginning, MTC actually chose 2015 as kind of the date pre-COVID as opposed to post-COVID, and I understand that. But, you know, it seems like it's going a little too far back, and maybe there's some statistics behind that. But my thing is if we're looking to accomplish goals and to set, you know, kind of the bar, should we look at those pre-COVID years in a different, you know, statistically and say, you know, 2018 was a great year for transportation and our transportation systems. So let's use that, and then we could set the bar higher. I just was curious if there was some reasoning.
Okay, I see your point now. I know I'm going to have Matt kind of chime in here, because I think in the projections and the planning modeling process, there is a base year, and Matt, you can speak to that base year that what we're using. But I understand your point. It is that looking at the pre-COVID years really is important in the process. So I completely understand that. Thank you. Matt, you want to kind of share with the information on the modeling year?
Yeah, you basically got it, John. It's MTC uses a base year for their regional transportation plan, and they use 2015 or the year 2015 both for Plan Bay Area 2040 and Plan Bay Area 2050. So, you know, so to be consistent with that, we've adopted those set of projections. But as one of the first things we did in the action planning process is we updated all the land use to year 2020. So we were kind of in tune what was going on early on in the pandemic. And then, you know, one of the first tasks John's got some of our consultants doing is working on these policy papers. And one of the things we have them looking at is kind of how do we, in the plan, how do we treat the pandemic? You know, how are we trying to get back to pre-pandemic levels, or are we just trying to cope with the new normal? So I think those are questions we maybe still don't know the answer to, as to what year we should be using, but we will use 2015 kind of as a base, but also 2020, and then you know, we can try and come up with a 2023 baseline if that's as part of the EIR, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, it would be interesting to see kind of statistically how those pre-COVID years look in relation to where we are today, let alone through the pandemic. And as we model, you know, our planning going forward, how we do what we do, because there is the new normal we keep saying, which might be just normal now, right? So, thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Ken. That was a really good point. And so I have a question here if Luella doesn't have any yet. And that is, and I don't know, John, who can answer this, but I know we've reached out to the public. But as we develop this plan now, and as we are in the new normal, are we going to be going back to the public for kind of like one last look, one last pass, one last opportunity for them to weigh in at all? Or has this all been done? And the reason I say this is because we are in a new period right now.
Yeah, thank you for the question, Vice Chair Kelly. So as part of our outreach effort, and we're part of the summer event series that we're going to different cities. I think that our plan is to go to every city from now until the fall and really present the CTP along with all the other programs and projects that CCTA is overseeing and heading. So that's one opportunity for us to do the outreach, and the other opportunity is using our committees, the stakeholders committee that we've established that reaches out to different groups, different organized groups. And then we're planning to do other outreach as we need to maybe present at the cities, council meetings and other areas.
Yeah, and give people some opportunity for participation. Yeah, I get that. Okay. Any other questions or comments? No? And David Early, did you want to say anything, or are you just hanging out here and watching?
I'm just hanging out here watching.
Okay.
It's a pleasure to be here today and to get to hear John's presentation and hear the concerns that you all have. Supervisor Carlson, it's a pleasure to get to meet you, I think, for the first time, and I'll look forward to working with you. I know the other commissioners quite well here, and really appreciate the opportunity to work with CCTA.
Okay, great. And Jackie, do we have any comments, written comments?
No written comments on this item.
And does anybody here want to comment?
I don't see any hands raised.
Okay, all right. Well, John and Matt and David, thank you very much. Colin too. And, you know, we'll see the next iteration.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll move on to correspondence and communications. And as far as communications, I just want to, I'm sort of the vice chair, so I want to give a brief report. And some of you know, I attended 2 of the CCTA events with the public, one in Pinole at the car show and one this last weekend at an event in Pittsburgh. And with me at the car show were Matt and Hisham, and then Tim showed up with his family and helped out. And then in Pittsburgh, it was with Ying and with Colin. And I have to say, there was a good deal of interest in the shared autonomous vehicle. You know, I kind of go around acting like a carnival barker and drawing people in. We all began to do that, get them to sit in there, give a 30-second spiel. And as I said in a report to Emily, who's organizing all of this, and to Tim, when you got into the SAV, the Presto, the first question was, when is it coming here? Meaning to my city. And the second one was, how much is it going to cost? Meaning, how much is it going to cost me? So what I took away from that, and Colin and I and Ying and I really discussed this a lot this last Saturday, was, people look at the countywide transportation plan and all the big things that we do, and it's like, it's overwhelming, but they can relate to something small, something that really appeals to them. So that's like the SAV, the shared autonomous vehicle. And I would see at least 80-90% of them thought, cool, maybe I'll go down and try it out in San Ramon. So that really got them interested. And I think that as we go on and do these programs, we really need a CCTA to focus on the things that really speak to the residents, speak to the people. I think Colin had a suggestion about EV chargers. Maybe we should let people know more that those are happening in their communities at these events. Maybe something more about bicycles. That's the way we get people really, really, really involved. So I plan to continue going to these events whenever I can, and I would urge all the other commissioners to do so. And I'll make that point at the authority board meeting in July. So that's just my comment. Any other comments, Luella or Ken? No? Shaking your heads. So Tim or John, do you have any comments?
No comments from me.
No comments. No comments.
Okay. And no other comments from any other, Matt or Colin?
Just thanks again for your feedback. We had our debrief meeting yesterday and shared a lot of your really helpful input. So thank you.
No, I think we're just all kind of learning as we go. And I just want to say it's wonderful. Thank you, staff, for coming out and manning those booths. I know that it was hot in the 93 to 98 degree weather in Pittsburgh, but we did as well as we possibly could. And we did get some good feedback. Okay, so if there's no other business, we've now reached adjournment. So we will adjourn now at 2:23 p.m. and our next scheduled meeting is on September 7th at 1:30